Okay, we're going to get two exterior videos, part 1 and part 2. The fence is locked, and so we'll have to break off at the driveway and come back into the house. The structure faces north. It's about 75 degrees. We got a breeze. It's overcast. It's about 85% humidity. The meter is in the alley outside of the fence. The fence is beyond the scope of this inspection, but the fence is worse for wear. I just gotta say that you're probably going to be budgeting, somebody's going to be budgeting to replace this fence sooner rather than later. Coming across here, we're on the east side of the structure. This is where the gas enters the house, so the main shutoff would actually be the meter valve. These are cables, okay, not electrical, even though you've got the red wire nuts there. I guess they're protecting the ends. Not your most attractive application. It's also beyond the scope of this inspection. We've got a brick chimney. It seems to be, for the most part, straight up. Okay, this is the clean out for the chimney. We've got a still image of that. Coming on along, we got trees too close to the slab foundation. Trees should be close to 25 feet. We've got some spalling on the bricks right in here. Do that a little bit. We got a few bricks on this chimney that look like they're gonna want some attention here sooner rather than later. The tree shouldn't be closer than 25 feet to the house. Also, foliage next to the house is conducive to wood-destroying insects, termites, carpenter ants, take your pick. But things like that will come in and visit the house thanks to this, and that debris should be cleaned out. Again, we're on the east side of the structure, and so what we're looking at here is, one, we're looking at a clean out. Okay, I don't remember seeing one of those yet. So it's a cast iron system. Cast iron system, and this is the exterior faucet on the, you should have at least two. You got one on the front yard. That guy's awful hard to turn. I want to be able to turn him off, so we're just going to say he doesn't work so hot. And then again, a cast iron clean out. One thing we haven't noticed on these walls is expansion control joints. Okay, those little seams like in the street. Well, that's a asphalt street. But anyway, we don't have any, areas to allow for contraction and expansion. That's why some people call them expansion joints. So they call them control because the cracking would go along there. But we don't have that. Coming along, these are double pane aluminum frame windows. And then we've got siding here. Now this siding, those are called butt joints. And the butt joints should have had flashing tape behind them. Now, this stuff has a certain shelf life. Brick is more or less, for lack of a better word, permanent. But this siding is not. It's been around here for a few years already, so just know that you're probably going to, as you look around the window and the window casement right there, the window casement doesn't match. It's because the siding was probably showing some signs of distress and wear, and so the window casement has been added up here. This home has gable vents. This home is a gable roof. These trees, this tree that's too close, right up in there, there should have been kick-out flashing. You can see the wood rot right there where the casement is next to the repairs. See those repairs? Those little boards scabbed on? Well, they didn't have kick-out flashing, and so the water just drains down that. You can see how dark the brick is, or how it drains right down there. Water just pours down that, causing some grief. And we're going to come up here and look at the edges. It's called the rake edge, but look at the edges. The tree's chewing up the shingles up there. Trees rubbing on the roof, it's chewing up the shingles. Around this window, and another one on the other side, you see how the brick mortar does not match. It has more of a gray, and this is more of a sand. Okay, well, it doesn't match because we've done some repairs. There's been some of that movement I was talking about. These little ants, those are not carpenter ants. They're a nuisance. You don't want them. I don't want them. I don't want them at my house, but you see this right here? It's called a weep hole. They're there by design. They're there by design, and the reason why they're there is home ownership 101. All roofs leak, all walls leak, and we design them to shed water faster than they accept it. So these weep holes are there by design to allow any moisture, vapor, or even water for that matter to escape. We got some stair-step cracks between the brick and mortar right underneath this window right here. Coming along here, you see how smooth this is? That's called a parge coat. Somebody came in, it's like a cake frosting. And somebody came in and just parged that, smoothed it out, and made it look nicer. Probably because it didn't look so nice in the first place. And this is the only one that I've seen. We got some more. I don't know what that's about, but we got a soffit vent right here. That's kind of an unusual application. I wonder if it's on the other side as well. No. I wonder why somebody decided that there needed to be a vent right there. Looks like there's a little bit of wood damage underneath this vent. I don't know if you can see that real well. I'll try and get a still picture of it here in a little bit. This rod right here, that's a Technic shot. Stitches and a Technic shot, that's what that is. And then around this window, so I guess all the windows it's going to be. Okay, again we got some more of the gray. And see how wet this brick is right here? It's not because you don't have kick-out flashing, and you should have kick-out flashing there. But that's not the reason. That's not the reason today. This guy right here is your secondary drain line for your air conditioning system, and it's leaking. That means your primary is clogged. You've got air conditioning problems. I haven't even been in the front door, I can tell you that. And of course, it's not going to be good to all summer run water next to your walls. Your brick like that. Brick is porous. Brick is not waterproof. Brick is designed to dry. So, you know, if it's never allowed to dry, then, you know, you're going to have problems. I can't tell because of this molding around here. I can't tell. But you're supposed to have stands underneath these posts to keep water, this water, from wicking up into this wood. Capillary action. Now, knowing the age of the structure, the vintage, I'm willing to, I'd speculate that they do not have stands underneath them. They probably have wood rot, and that's probably why you have these little collars built around them. Exterior electric receptacle outlets, they should have a in-use cover, kind of a helmet, a bubble cover. These are good for outside, but if you're plugging in Christmas lights or something like that, if they're out in an exposed area, and this porch isn't that much covered, if they're out in an exposed area, they really should be in-use covers. And this receptacle works, but it does not have GFCI protection. It doesn't. This is an aftermarket doorbell. It probably has a battery in there, so there's going to be some maintenance. All your electric carriage lights, your sconces, your sconces on the exterior walls, they should be sealed to help prevent moisture from getting in behind the brick there. They should be sealed. And you see these holes around your front porch and such? There's only one reason for those holes. Those are called drill holes. The only reason someone puts those holes in there like that is they're delivering some poison. Some product, which is poison. Termites is the only thing, subterranean termites is the only thing you treat that way. It's the only reason for those holes to be there. So we know that this structure has been treated before, at least once. We don't know who treated it, we don't know when it was treated, and we do not know what it's treated with. We've got a little bit of wood rot right here in the corner. You can see that. And coming on along. Let's just go on out to the street here a little bit. Okay, composition shingle roof. I'm going to talk about this just a little more. We've got a couple vent stacks up here. I'm not sure what all of them are for. I'm afraid that one in the middle is probably for a clothes dryer, but we'll find out. And if it is, we'll talk about it. But the one on the left, that little pie guy, that guy right there, you see the rust on the roof covering below there? That means this roof covering has been here a few years. That's true. But it also means that we've got a problem with that appliance. If it looks a little large for a water heater, so it's probably the furnace. So the furnace, if rust is coming out of your furnace, you've got problems with your furnace. Heat exchanger problems, to be more specifically. So this needs to be checked out. We haven't even got in the front door over the air conditioner and the heater. And of course, if I go up and find a new furnace, then that would be left over from the old furnace would be a safe assumption. And then this taller pipe right here. See the way the flashing plate is curling up around that? Yeah, that should have been fastened a little better. And then coming along here, these are edges. That's a rake edge, this is a drip edge, and between the shingles and the fascia board right there, that little metal strip, it's been painted, you can't really see it. Okay? That little metal strip. But that's supposed to be lapped a minimum of 10 inches as per the manufacturer. You'll probably never have an issue with that. I get that part. And every house I inspect just about, the edge flashing is not properly lapped. But that's not what the manufacturer says, so I just thought I'd bring that dialogue up. Coming out to the street, this is the water meter. This is the water meter right here. Okay. Inside here, inside this water meter, can we get all the way out? Okay. Okay, this is your dial. It's that little bitty dial right in there, that yellow sprocket looking thing. That's called your flow indicator. Some people call it a cheater wheel or a cheater paddle, but it's very sensitive. If water is entering the structure, this moves. You flush the commode, it moves. So it's very, very sensitive. If that's moving, then water's moving into the house. Now, if you don't have anything turned on, then water's leaking somewhere. And if it's leaking somewhere that you can't see, it's still leaking. So if your water bill's unusually high, you might want to come out here and check that guy. Moving back into the house. I know it's a decorative tree, but it's still too close. Still too close. This is the main shut-off valve to the house. That little orange handle in there, so the valve is buried, probably rusty. It's not doing any good. You're supposed to be able to reach around that valve and service it. This irrigation box should have been excavated, and lined with gravel so that you can see that valve. It's there though. You got one. It's right here. This is on the west side of the front porch. Just keep our orientation going here. I thought I remembered it being on a little better than that. Might not have been. Okay, this is exterior faucet like the other one. One thing the exterior faucets don't have is vacuum breakers. It's not very well mounted in there either. It should have a vacuum breaker. And we have almost 80 psi. That's the most. You're supposed to have between 40 and 80. So you don't have too much. You don't have too much, but you got, some people would say, good water pressure. So now the stem's leaking right there. Stem's leaking. Gonna need a washer sooner or later. Okay. Coming along, more of that mortar around the windows we were talking about. And this is another thing that I wanted to kind of bring to your attention. This is a good example. Siding is not supposed to be in direct contact with the shingles. It's supposed to be about a 2-inch gap, up there between the siding and the shingles, Otherwise, water's going to get sucked up in there, capillary action. You're going to have some wood rot. You should have a kick-out flashing right there as well. And all along, trees again are too close. Again, I have the brick repairs around every window. This draining, grading, and drainage, even the house for that matter. The other side is better. This side, there's really no place for the water to go. We've got negative drainage towards the house. Something we want to pay attention to. I have the butt seams, got the trim around it. Flashing's not labeled, right. It's all the same thing. This is for the water heater right here. The temperature pressure relief valve drain line. Now, are both of those to do different water heaters? I don't know. This one's too high and it's not pointed towards the ground. That one is close enough to the ground, but it's not pointed towards the ground, and it's crimped. And it's crimped right there. Moving on along. Coming here. We got wood rot on the vertical casement. There should be about 2 inches. There should be about a 2-inch gap right there. Should be about a 2-inch gap. That's what should be there. And then it wouldn't rot like it has been. See the rot right there? That wasn't done properly. Electric service coming into the house. It's called the service drop. And it's in the trees. It's in the trees. I don't know what size service panel we have in the garage. Okay, but see the way the wires are bent around the weather mast head, the entrance conduit, the weather mast head. See that? They're supposed to be bent down because water curls. Water curls. That top one right there, water can curl right around that and come into your electrical system. And I don't know if you can see this very well, but that mast is leaning. The mast is leaning. A lot of them do. Mine, a lot of them. It's pulling away from the house. See the way it's pulling away from the house right there? So trees continue to grow against this. You get a nice strong freeze. That mast might come on down. And again, you know, that size of that wire, we need to pay some attention to the breaker box inside. And the top of the box, right here, see how it's boogered up? Somebody's been in there for some reason. I don't know. Maybe because they didn't want to disrupt it. And that's been disrupted. See the way that little guy's broken? That seal? So somebody's been in this meter box for something without a permit, without the electric company's permission. Coming on along. We got a little bit of wood rot right here. We'll pick it up.